Not a beer review in any way, shape or form. Just a beer chat. 8 o'clock Friday night. First beer on the agenda. Brewdog's Hoppy Xmas. So it's like leftover Christmas. You know you have your leftover turkey. Well, these are my leftover Christmas beers. And I'm trying to whittle them away. And good evening. So it's a cold one. Bloody freezing here. And start off with the old Brewdog, eh? Oh, nice. And I've even got, funnily enough, a Brewdog glass. Eh? Ain't that a belter? It says here batteries not included. That's quite funny, that is, because whenever you do Christmas presents, you always have to get batteries, don't you? And so yeah, it looks a nice golden amber pour, Whitehead. Bit of festive on the nose. Oh, yeah. It's it nice. It's Friday night. Australian IPAs, bless you. Good evening. Oh, it's cold in here. Hey, it's been a good day, to be fair. Done one garden today. It's my furlough. Good evening. My furlough day. So I did a garden, come back home, babysat the little one for my grandson for 2.5 hours, watched Minions and Turbo. And you know, sometimes some of these kids' films, they're great to watch. Obviously, as you get older, you don't really watch them. But I actually enjoyed watching Turbo. Really good film. You know, the one about the snail that gets nitroed and goes really fast. Brilliant film. Wife's doing cakes. Just delivered. She's just delivered 2 big cakes, a 2-tier cake, a single-tier cake. One was a Spider-Man, one was a princess themed, and then 24 cupcakes to go with them cakes. And those cupcakes have these toppers, like flat toppers on the top, were printed out. They can be photos, they can be anything. And you know, and now she's got another cake ready for tomorrow morning. So for me, it's great. Oh yeah, I am. Oh, I don't know what it is, but you know, drinking out of the right glass. Yeah, I'm going to drink 3 tonight, then 3 tomorrow. And she's going to be on the drink tomorrow because after she's done something daft like, is it 9 cakes this week? And these aren't, you know, little cakes. These are big, like that big, all customized, totally, you know. It's a Brewdog 330ml glass. I got it in a set years ago. And yeah, it's quite nice to drink out the proper glass. It always tastes, I don't know if it's just me, but it does taste, always seems to taste better out the proper glass. Remind myself how strong this is. That's so bloody annoying when it does that. It keeps chucking me off. Good evening. Yeah, my mum, you know, she was a swine for that. She had no morals. We go into a pub. We've got the Spot in Daybrook, and they used to have Harvest Pale glasses, you know, Castle Rock. And I'd say to her, good evening. I'd say to her, oh, I'd love that glass. Next minute, it's in a bag, and she's going out of it. But she didn't care. Whereas me, I was eyeing up a Titanic Brewery glass once in a pub, and I daren't take it. You know, I just didn't want to get caught and be embarrassed. Although, to be fair, when I was in Londonderry at the hotel, I did have 2 of their glasses. I had an Irish craft beer, and I think it was a Guinness. Might have been a Guinness glass. Oh, it was Harp. Yeah. So I had to have 2. Yeah, quite a nice festive beer, this is. Yeah, I know. That's always my worry. You know, obviously, if you're a thief, you can do it so sleight of hand that no one ever knows. Those who are honest and try and do these things, well, there is that. I mean, when you're paying 7 or 8 quid for a pint, you think to yourself, fucking hell, the glass must come free because that's a ridiculous price for a pint. Oh, it's bitter down here. Good thing the beer's all right, but it is cold. I put it on 1 bar. I think I should have put it on 2. It'll warm up there. So we do. Can't fault the steak now. Yeah. I mean, I went to a do at Blue Monkey Brewery in Giltbrook, and we all got a glass each. My mates didn't want their glass, so I had their glasses, and I took another one as well that was lying around. Don't matter if someone's had a drink out of it, you get it out and put it in the dishwasher. And my dishwasher took out all them 4 glasses. Obviously, it's probably a bit cheaper glass, I presume. And yeah, the dishwasher broke all 4 of them in time. Yeah, I wonder this when everything reopens. It's a lovely beer, isn't it? It's nice. It's Christmassy. The best way is to go out in beer gardens and have a drink, because when you're out in the beer gardens drinking, you've got more chance, especially if it's a bit more secluded and very busy. You've got more chance of just getting the glass, drinking it, woof, and then walking out. Not that we should be condoning nicking, but enough people do it. Let's be fair. Oh, yeah. Chilly. I was looking at beers today and I thought to myself, shall I get some new beer? I've been to do the old fella's garden, the one who passed away. His daughter was there, and they paid me up front for the next 4 visits. So I thought, shall I go to Waitrose? And I ain't got the heart in me to go and do any beer shopping at the moment. So if I see something and I ain't got it, I'll get it. But I'm not bothered about doing any orders at the moment. I think sometimes just getting rid of your stock that you've got, unless something amazing comes along, I don't think I'm going to do it. Plus, I've got the wife's birthday in March. Yeah, I agree with you there. In fact, I went to Lincoln Green Brewery before Christmas and bought some beers from them. And I said to them, do you sell glasses? Because I like to drink your beer out of your glass. And he says, no, usually people just nick them. And which is quite honest. And she was one of the co-owners of the company. And she says, but you can have a glass for free. And she went and got me a glass and gave me a glass, which I thought was very nice, And so I'll be using that on my reviews. Yeah, there's still a bit more room on the beer wall. If I double stack them for a birthday, not sure. We've been together. This is our 30th year together. I did it for Joseph Holt, and that's one of the next beers. And I've got their Joseph Holt glass. The glass was a £5, but I didn't mind paying that because I got the beer so flipping cheap. Yeah, no, I'm not surprised. What, the B glass? Yeah, it is a nice glass. I like that. I mean, the 12 beers for 19 quid with free delivery. And I thought, well, I've got it so cheap, I'll have to get a glass with it. Yeah, Rooney. But they're still third from bottom. He hasn't inspired them to great heights. And he's packed in playing. He may do well. He may be the catalyst they need. I mean, Stephen Gerrard, he's done well. But Celtic and Rangers are very different than bloody Derby. Yeah. I've said that to her before. Do you want me to buy something? And she said, don't ever buy me anything for the house, And yet she did the same to me. She actually bought me something, but it's in the house. So it's quite funny, really. But she wants a load of silicon moulds for cake making and that. And like 100 quid's worth. So it may just be this year she just gets something as random as that, and then probably some bit of clothing or something. Oh, I don't know about that. That'd be a bit strange, wouldn't it? Right. I'm not sure. I've got one of their diamond beers somewhere. Yes, yeah. We've got a slow cooker. Yeah, I've definitely got it somewhere. The Joseph Holt Diamond. Somewhere on this bloody wall. No, can't see it. No. I can't see me reviewing it before. I'll check the date on it. And I can't see me reviewing it and probably put a stockpile it till next Christmas. I think Diamond is their lager. It's one of their lagers. They do a couple of lagers. Yeah, can't see the bugger. Right. Where are you, little bleeder? You're hiding somewhere. No. What's this one? Crystal Gold. That's one of theirs. But yeah, I've got the. Oh yeah, Diamond Lager. Fucking hell, I was looking at the bastard as well. So yeah, there's their Diamond Lager, and I've got the 5% version, which will be drank at some time in the future. I like the 8% version. Oh. Yeah. Probably thought he drinks too much, too much of a pisshead. I mean, to be fair, last year I actually brewed her some wine and some white wine and rosé wine, and then ended up drinking most of it myself. Same with the lager that I brewed, primarily for her. She had one glass, so I'm not doing it again. Waste of time. I might as well just brew for myself and just keep that going that way. But she does like cream liqueurs, like Baileys and that sort of thing. So I might try and get her some cream liqueurs that you don't seem to get in shops. Sheridan's do one, which is like a black one side and a white the other side. And I might try and get her some of them because she does love the cream liqueurs. Oh, Jesus Christ, this fire's... Let me just turn my fire up. No expense spared. Get 2 bars on. Well, when it decides to come on, bastard. Oh, hello, wakey wakey. She don't drink red wine. That's brilliant. God knows, I would have no idea. I'd have to look at them all just to even know. Yeah, a bottle of I think a Woodburn would be great in the shed. Oh, I doubt that. But yeah, I mean, I've got some amazing beers that I've never tried yet, and I suppose by not buying any beers for a while, it'll get the wall down a bit, and because at the start, the very top shelf that you can't see, although if I angle there, see that shelf up there? All that top shelf was glasses at one stage, and now it's all bloody beer bottles, and some are double stacked as well. So I do want to try and get it back down to just, 1, 2, 3, and then put the beer glasses on the top shelf again, just to keep the levels down, because it's all right, but then you start getting beers running out of date, and that's the last thing you want, Not that I care about dates, but yeah, I know. If they ever fell off the shelf, I'd cry. I would. I'd literally cry. God knows how much money's worth there is. Could you imagine being able to scan them all? Not that you'd be able to find the prices of every one, unless you had some sort of universal price scanner. Scan them all and see how much you've spent. That'd be good. Although I wouldn't tell the wife because she'd probably have a dicky. Although she's not daft, she knows that, how much beers cost. But she doesn't moan too much, so that's one good thing. Alpaca, double dry hopped IPA. 6.6% as well. Oh, I'm pissed out of my head. I'll be in hospital. It does make you wonder how much it is. I mean, most beers, apart from the supermarket stuff that's 4 for £6, most of the craft beers are about £3 these days, aren't they? And upwards. So, yeah, there's definitely some quid's worth there. If I ever got burgled, I'd cry and all. Luckily, you'd break your neck trying to get in my garden, so, you know, they'd struggle. Really bitey. I want to get their new lockdown beers, but I'm not sure if you can only get them from Brewdog themselves, which kind of, I can't be bothered with ordering from Brewdog. I'd rather go to a shop and buy them. There's 2 brand new flavours, 3 lockdown beers, 2 brand new flavours, and I definitely want to try and get them. I wish Brewdog would do a mix your own box set, because there's some beers they've brought out that you struggle to get in the shops, and to get them from them for a fairly decent price would be good. And I think they're missing out on a trick there. Yeah, or dead. I'll tell you a story now. A lockdown calendar. That'd be interesting. Oh. I might chat to Low Cost and see if he'll do a lockdown calendar. For a fairly decent price, of course. Right. I think the lockdown's going to last into March. It's 6%. Nice beer. Very festive. It's very festive tasting, but with bloody hoppy as well. Good bite in the back end. Very nice beer, actually. But yeah, lockdown calendars. Now that's interesting. Might have to put a few feelers out there and put a few suggestions to certain different companies and see if they'll come up with one. The lockdown beer reviews. Yeah. Oh, I've got to say, going down a treat. I mean, I'm hoping that the lockdown beers from Brewdog end up in one of the supermarkets, or even in the likes of B&M or Own Bargains. It'd be nice. I'm quite surprised that Low Cost hadn't had more stock coming in. They had a bit of an update, but it was mainly spirits and cocktail stuff, not many beers, you know. And I was hoping after Christmas that they'd have quite a bit more, especially draft stuff as well. But I suppose we'll see how long this lockdown lasts for. I mean, a lot of companies now, I've noticed a lot of breweries, they've stopped doing cask beer, and they're only doing beer straight to bottles or cans now, which is, well, I suppose, you know, it's pointless. Yeah, 45 quid was a good price. I think, you know, obviously it's a total lottery and you may get 3 or 4 from the same brewery, but as long as all the beers are different, then that's all it really matters. The last thing I want is to drink some bloody IPA one day and then the same IPA the next day. I mean, the other calendar I got, the Adventure Beer, that was good as well. 75 quid, a bit more pricier, but it was all local stuff. And I think petitioning some of these beer shops to do a mid-year advent calendar. I mean, let's be fair, you could do a January advent calendar and then a February. But then again, we probably all get accused of being pissheads. I get that anyway, so I don't really care. Although I've done well, 8 o'clock, and this is the first sniff of any beer I've had today. Yeah, 28 days. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Ooh. I'm going to Own Bargains this weekend. So I'll see if they've got anything interesting in. I went to B&M today, picked up some trees, funnily enough, fruit trees. No, low cost. That I tell you what, that draft beer they. Good evening. The draft beers they do, the Discovery case, 10 beers for 15 quid. Yeah, you're going to pay a fiver delivery, but for 20 quid, you can't fault it. You really can't. Because if you've left it a while between the last time you did a Discovery case off them, there's a good chance you may get as many as 10 new beers, all draft to try. And that, to me, is bob on the money. 2 quid, 10 bottles of draft. I mean, I think that's a better way of buying their draft than going the litre option. Because especially, if you get some of the expensive ones, like the other week, that Tiny Rebel Imperial popcorn stout thing, which was 18 quid for the litre. If you got one of them bottles inside that £15 box, bloody hell. I mean, if it's 18 quid a litre, then it would be 6 quid for 330 mils. So, yeah. So if you got that in, then that makes the rest of the box bloody, you're getting a right bargain. Yeah, Own Bargains. I mean, B&M tonight, nothing in B&M. They did have some night cider. I don't know if you can see it. They did have some night cider, small bottle for 50p tonight. 8.4% though, so good price. And they had something else at a quid, but I forgot the fucker. I was gonna take a photo and put it on the page, but I couldn't seem to do it. Yeah, tonight I managed to get two, a cherry tree and a plum tree from B&M Bargains, 2 for a tenner. Banging price. I looked the other week at a garden centre, 15 quid each, and I thought, I'm not paying that for a tree. But 2 for a tenner. And if you ever buy a fruit tree from B&M, make sure you scratch the bark with your finger. Go through the plastic, scratch the bark. If it's green, it's alive. If it's brown, it's already dead. Don't even bother buying it. That's a gardener's tip. But you don't need to scratch it too much because it should be quite soft. Just scratch it. And if it's green, you sand. That's what I did. I had people looking at me as I'm scratching the tree like, well, what's that twat doing? And but I don't want to buy dead trees. And then in 3 years' time, put it in the ground. I think the pubs should have reopened. The pubs were safer than a lot of other places. I mean, if they get this, if they get the vaccinations out at such a rate that all the really vulnerable are done, then I think the government and Boris will want to open it up quickly just to get it all back. 30th of Feb. Yeah, fucking hell, I didn't see that. Yeah, never. So that was a nice beer. I enjoyed that. 6%. Yeah, it tasted like a 6%. So now I have the Joseph Holt. Lovely glass. £5 for that glass. I mean, that deal they did, 12 beers for 19 quid with free delivery. Yeah, no. If anything, go into your Sainsbury's or any of the big four, Aldi, Lidl, is absolutely more putting yourself at risk than a pub, which is just bloody ridiculous. And I always seem to go overboard at Christmas, so I'm moving some of the stock off. I thought I'd moved that bloody bad elf. I was looking for Christmas beers before I came on. St. Fuelian Christmas. Ooh, I've got St. Fuelian Blonde. That's a review, to come at some stage. So Sixex, first time I seen this was last year at B&M. Good evening. And obviously it's a Christmas beer when you look at the front. And although Clever marketing, really. You look at the front and you think that's a Christmas beer all day long, but it doesn't say it's a Christmas beer. So it's good all year round. Lovely dark colour to it. Little white head. Fair play to you. I thought about it, but it didn't get very far. Although, funnily enough, the old anxiety levels are quite low these days. I think I was more pissed off about being wet through and cold yesterday. I love the stained glass effect. Oh, yeah. St. Peter's Blonde in Aldi. 750ml bottle. Ooh. The ABV, again, another 6%. Proper decent ABVs, that's what you want. Oh, that's better. Holt's Bitter, 25 years. Wow. Lovely glass. It's funny how the B effect seems to disappear when it's dark. Good evening. Even though this should really be at room temperature, still that lovely dark malty taste to it. Beautiful. So they reckon over 3 million people vaccinated now. And then the one about closing all the corridors to other countries. And then if you've read today that we've got the Kent variant. Yeah, I've never done dry January. You've got the Kent, the UK variant of that coronavirus. You've got the South African variant. And the Brazilians, they're just being cheeky, they are. They've got 2 variants. So they've got one which is not bad, and then they've got another one which they're worried about. Oh, they will. They won't take long. Yeah. But at least, good evening. At least with the first dose, you know, it's starting to work in their systems. A mate of mine tonight on the internet, he's just confirmed he's got COVID, all his family. Well, that's good. So there's no Holt's pubs near us. I think the vaccine gives you that bit of, you know, takes some of the worry away. For a lot of people it will. For me it will. And especially when you get the second. And what you've got to wonder is, if you get the vaccine, if by how it's spread now, how it's all spread now, you know, you can cough it out, you can sneeze it out. So if you've had the vaccine and you've got all the antibodies or that whatever's in the vaccine, if you cough it out or do the same action, does that mean someone walks into that by mistake or what doesn't wash their hands and that? Do they get the antibodies as well? That's an interesting question. I'm going to ask it to we've got a virologist that comes on the local radio station, and I want to ask him that. Yeah, definitely. A lot of elderly people are scared shitless. And you see all this fake shit about these cunts that are sending, like, trying to charge people for vaccines, knocking on doors and saying, I've got a vaccine here, but it's 35 quid. And you think, yeah, fuck it, I'd smack someone if that happened to me. Come to my door saying that shit. And then other people getting messages where they're telling them to log into NHS for the vaccine and you've got to pay. That would be funny, wouldn't it? Refusing to go get a vaccine because it's at City's ground. I wondered if the vaccine can be administered to people that are in hospital with COVID. And the virologist says the other day it wouldn't do any help for them, but surely it would. Yes, it's going to take 3 weeks to start working, but if you're in hospital, then surely an injection, 3 weeks later, it's already starting to work. If you're in hospital suffering anyway, It can't not do any harm, can it, to take it? I know they've not done all the probably all the medical testing for that part of it, but I know it's safe according to 44,000 people who took it. But surely, if you've got COVID, you're in hospital. Surely vaccinating every single person who's in hospital with COVID. Yes, it's going to take 3 weeks, but surely that's the way forward. I would. I'd kick the fuck out of them, I would. I ain't got any old members of my family now. I've only got aunties and uncles that are in their 60s. But my mum, dad, grandparents all died, so yeah, there's some scumbags in the world, isn't there? You know, it's like the shops at the beginning of the lockdown, all them shops that were charging silly money for disinfectant, bleach, toilet rolls, and the backlash that they got. They don't do it now because people just, one, they didn't go to the shops, and they're having the windows put through and all that. It's happened in Nottingham. I mean, I remember being outside Iceland one Sunday morning, and this elderly bloke, poor bugger, he was in his 80s, and we're in the queue with us, and says, I've only come for some toilet rolls, I can't get any anywhere. And, you know, forced to queue at a time when you probably want to sit at home just for flipping toilet rolls. Ridiculous. Shit, innit? And we was in Iceland, and we thought, well, what do we buy? And they only had packs of 24. We thought, we don't really want to buy a pack of 24, but it's the only packs they had. So we ended up buying a pack of 24 as well. Lovely dark malty beer. Yeah, good on them. It's like all them, if you remember years ago, there was a petrol shortage and you had dickheads filling wheelie bins up with petrol. And I'm not sure if it set the house on fire or somebody tipped the bin over and it flooded all his whatever, but that was on the news. And you think to yourself, seriously, right, twat. And obviously, wheelie bins can hold quite a bit. I mean, I think wheelie bins hold 480 litres, so, or was it 360? So you imagine buying that much petrol to stockpile it. And then someone tipping your bin over. Fucking hilarious. It serves them right. It was on the news. I can't remember the full details of it, but yeah, it was definitely on the news. Good evening. Oh, Friday night, chill weekend. See, at the start of the lockdown, the first lockdown, stores weren't putting limits on anything, was there? And that's why I went into Sainsbury's one night, where I used to work. I walked in, and it's like, shit, every aisle was empty. Never seen anything like it in my life. Yeah, it was a long while back, wasn't it? But I can definitely remember people, at least one person, filling it with a wheelie bin. Let's be fair. You know, any email that asks you to log in, don't believe it. Any message that comes through on your phone, don't believe anything unless you verify it yourself first. I mean, I got one day, and I run a gaming website, and basically we it's all about hacking game consoles. And obviously, being on the internet for years, I've had loads of emails. I mean, I used to get Viagra emails all the time, which I thought was hilarious. But I mean, I've never had an issue in my life, but it's funny. But then nowadays it seems to be Bitcoin. Good evening. And now only once have I ever been slightly fooled, and it was an HRMC email asking me, telling me that I'd got so much money to come back, and I'm thinking, get in. And I was a bit short of money at the time as well. And I read into it, and I read it, and then I highlighted the link, never clicked the link, copy the link, put it on another browser, and then, you know, just to see what the link has, what's in the link. 90 times out of 100, the links are shit as well, and they look shit, you know. I miss them. It went really quick. Blue pit now. Oh, I get millions. I get millions every day, I do, sent to me. I've had a couple of free beers off Jubel once. I've had some off Low Cost Beer. I had one beer off Ashover Brewery. And and a few off St. Peter's Brewery. But other than that, no. Yeah, all the beers I've bought on my own. Unless I've been gifted from my kids, obviously, you know, for Christmas and birthdays. But no, all my own doing. You think after so long reviewing beers that you might get some for free, wouldn't you? But obviously there's a lot of people doing beer reviews. Oh, 8%. Jobs are good in there. Yorkshire, is it Yorkshire or is it Manchester? I can never remember. And I can't read the back of the bottle at this time of night. The lighting in here is not great. Is it Manchester? Manchester, yeah. Thought it was. So not far away from Robinson's Brewery as well then, because they're Manchester. Old Tom with ginger, Old Tom with chocolate. Yeah. I've got some beers today from the kids. My daughter's brought me 5 beers round, and 3 of them I'm drinking tomorrow night. So all good. 3 Marston's beers. I thought, well, I've already reviewed them before, so I don't want to review them again. So I'll just do a beer chat with them tomorrow night. I might have to have a beer chat wall, a mini wall with just beer chat beers on, and then a proper wall with the actual reviews on. Blue Moon. No, I think most beer reviewers actually spend a lot of money. Yeah, Blue Moon in America. Went into Walmart in America and went past the Budweiser aisle. Fucking aisle with just Budweiser on. Like 20 different versions of Budweiser. You've never seen it like it, unless you've been to America. And the next aisle, they had Blue Moon. And I think at that time, it was one of the only craft beers they had. And it was a box of Blue Moon, 12 bottles in the box. And like some random varieties, like Blue Moon agave, which is like a succulent plant, agave version of it. And to be honest, they was all bang on. And this is like 10 years ago since I've had that. Absolute vodka, bless you. 24 Coors Light. Coors Light's nice in the summer months when you're doing a barbie. And if someone's giving it you for free as well, then it's even better. But obviously we all drink what we drink, you know. Some people like ciders, lagers, some like real ales, and some just like spirits. Quite fortunate that I don't mind anything, you know. Apart from what's that bloody nasty stuff that wiped me out one day? Not tequila. Tell you what, I'm going to wear this when I go down to the Robin Hood Beer Festival. I'm going to wear this when I'm down there, just in case, just to see. See, John Smith's on cask is actually okay. It's very bland, but especially when you've had, yeah, broom wine, especially when you've had, you know, craft beers. Going back to John Smith's and Caffrey's, And the old Tetleys, Tetley's Smooth, going back to them when you've drank like real ales and craft beers. But then again, if you're in a pub and that's all they've got, or lager, you're going to hit the John Smiths, aren't you? Or look at the bottled varieties that they're doing. Yeah, I'll have some out of the bottle. I mean, I usually end up going for Guinness. No. I don't even know what a Patreon is. Is that some sort of like a donation thing, isn't it? Australian IPA, 6.8%. Lovely. Hey, it'd be good to have a meetup at the Robin Hood Beer Fest. Worthington's. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, Worthington's. Yeah, I thought it was. Where you can donate. See, I used to go ice skating as a 16-year-old, and I'd get pissed up on whiskey and coke. I don't know how they sold it me, because I looked 16 as well. I didn't look any older. In fact, it's only the last 10 years I've started to look older. Before that, I was always a younger looking person. Bastard. Grey hair does it for you. And that receding hairline. Oh, I don't. Are they in Nottingham way, are they? Oh. Guinness Bitter in the green can. Never seen that. JW Lee's, they make some nice beers. They do make some nice beers, they do. I can't remember any, but Lancaster something, is that one of theirs? There is a couple of their beers that I really like, but I can't remember the flipping names. Yeah, they do make some nice beers. I'd like to do an order from Vocation Brewery at some stage, but with the wife's birthday coming up, I don't want to. I need to make sure I've got money to pay for her birthday. So my gardening money takes a hit for a bit. I've had a rough year or so, especially this last year. Well, apart from August onwards, it's not been bad, but the year before, fucking hell, shit year. Yeah, that's why I get to move into a wank workplace. Boddington's, bloody hell, that was some Moonraker. Yes, that's a good one from JW Lee's. Do you find these comments really go quick all of a sudden? You're reading them and then they just do. Like Vocation, they do some good beers. Right, I'll go back up there. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's been a much better last few months, and I can feel it now where my anxiety levels, they're not there like they used to be. It's really going. Or maybe it's just my internet, because I'm in the shed and I've got a triple foil roof. Not that it does much fucking good. I like some of the Vocation stuff, yeah. I need to probably do a re-review because it's been a while since I've drank any. There's a lot of that going about, isn't there? This recycled bread beers. Yeah, a lot better than I used to be. Yeah, definitely. Some very dark days a few months back. Yeah, especially around the June-July period. Whew, very dark days. Good thing I had the beer to keep me going. That's all I can say. I mean, I'm hoping that in years to come with my trees, I'll be able to start doing some plum porters myself. I mean, my pear tree, it's been in about 5 or 6 years. And this year, I had a good 200 pears off that pear tree. There's some amazing breweries out there. So, when you see what's out there these days, I look at I've got loads of breweries on my Facebook and Instagram feed, and yeah, plum wine as well, definitely. And you know, if you had the money to get every one of the new beers out there, one, you'd never find time to drink them all. Not much. If you go on the internet, it's a little bit more complex than that. But basically, I have read what is the difference. I can't remember. But yeah, there's not much difference. I think it's all in the name, really. Basically, just both dark beers. There's a better description. I have looked. But you can get coffee porters as well. I'm sure I've seen one or a couple. I'm sure I have. I didn't know until I went on the brewery tour, Sadler's, with the barley, the different types of roastiness in the barley gives off the different flavours. I'm there sniffing this barley. It's like, shit, didn't realise that. And then the hops as well. To work in a brewery must be an awesome job. I've got some WandaVision to watch tonight. It's on Disney Plus for those people who watch Marvel. I love Woman Raisin, and I'm just gutted that I didn't get the Imperial Stout that was out before Christmas. Sadler's Sorcery. Yes, I've done Sadler's Sorcery. I've got that. I had that on both bottle and in draft. Very nice. Sadler's do some nice beers. It's a shame they were took over by, well, basically Crabbies, isn't it? You know, what's the bloody name? Halewood. Who also own Hawkshead Brewery, who at the start of lockdown sacked most of their staff. Very nice. Wonder Woman. I didn't rate the second Wonder Woman film. I was tired when I watched it. I watched it on a stream and I did not rate it. Oh, we're back. Drinks Biscuits? No, never heard of them. Mud City Stout, awesome. Yeah. Best available Woman Raisin Stout. Oh, the best one I've ever tasted was at Robin Hood Beer Festival, made by a company called Liquid Light, Nottingham-based company, and they make an interstellar galactic Woman Raisin Stout. It's either 13.5 or 14%, and it's sold for £13 a can before Christmas. 700 cans went on sale, and in 4 bleeding minutes, B&M sell it usually, and in four minutes all 700 had gone. Ridiculous how fast it went. Was it a free 30ml can? Shit, that's some profit there, isn't there? You know, you don't. I mean, if I did that and I had that many sold, I'll be thinking the next year to ramp it up. I don't think it was 330. I think it was either 500 or 750 and in a bottle, but I'm not 100%. No, it's not 1 litre, that's for sure. Yeah, they'd have sold them. I went on at 7:20 thinking, I'll let the rush go and get a, and then when I read it after 4 minutes, I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, gutting wasn't the word. 40 quid for snake venom. Brewmeister, aka Keith Brewery. They're the ones who make Brewmeister. And yeah, 40 quid. Whew. Although it was good. I think I probably got me 40 quid's worth out of it because it wasted me. I had no drink beforehand, and it was so bloody strong. For a normal beer, I tell you what, I was rough. I mean, I fell asleep downstairs, and the wife was not happy with me. Yeah. I was steaming on that, but I kept going, and then I can't remember when I left here and turned the phone off. I can't remember what else I did after that. Sadler spirits, 22 quid's not a bad price for any spirit. Obviously, the mass-produced stuff like Bell's, Famous Grouse, they can afford to sell theirs cheaper because they mass-produce it so much. But 22 quid for a brewery brand to do that. There's some wacky stuff out there to try, isn't there? You know, there's got to be brewers around the country have got to be doing some great experiments. I mean, this year at some stage, I want to do some experimental brews with my, with my plastic fermentation buckets, and maybe even try and do my own rum and raisin stout, and brew a stout, and then brew it. Probably put 2 brews in one, and then the sugar, quadruple the sugar, so there's more sugar going in. Maybe using a champagne yeast in that, and then after that brew's done, add in brewing it short, two brews, brew it to 22 litres, then after pour in a couple of bottles of rum, and go that way. Wold's Brewery's marmalade stout's very nice, actually. Yeah, I've had that before. They do make some nice beers, Wold's do. We had their Scarborough IPA at Sainsbury's. I think it's Scarborough IPA. It came in a yellowish bottle. And again, that was really good. Really, really decent. I think it was 6%. Yeah, Morrison's. You've got to, yeah. See, to get the higher ABV, you'd need a good yeast. Champagne yeast is probably the best yeast to do that. So if you're going to brew a higher beer kit, I would have thought champagne yeast is the best way to go. Or maybe a Belgian yeast might bring out the stronger taste to get it up to that desired strength. Maybe. Obviously, there's brewers out there, they know a lot more than what probably we do. But that's. I mean, I've read where Blue Monkey, they did champagne, and basically it was a beer done with champagne yeast, and that was 11%. And the reviews on the channel, I think it was a £5 for the bottle, 330ml bottle, £5, and it was quite decent actually, if I remember rightly. Yeah. So to do like, I mean, I also fancy doing an Imperial ginger beer. So again, maybe 2 ginger beer kits into one fermentation vessel. So whatever you do, it's going to be an expensive brew. So 30 quid for 2 kits, and then as many as 5 or 6 bags of sugar, and again champagne yeast to ramp up, and then maybe at the end of the fermentation boil some ginger root, chop it up, chuck the ginger root in, and leave it in there for a week or 2, and then put it into a barrel and let it age in the barrel, for a while. Yeah, I think yeast do it as well. It's all interesting, isn't it? From a newbie brewing point of view. There's a place near me called A Place to Brew, and they're accepting people to learn how to do brewing on proper machinery, the big metal drums and all that. And if I had the time, and I think you have to pay a subscription per month, so I'd have to look at the, what you pay. But to do that and to learn more about brewing it, proper micro brewing the beer, instead of doing it, like in a plastic bucket, it'd be interesting. These mash tuns and all that business. Thing is with me, I'd want to be brewing strong stuff all the time. Anything below 8% won't interest me. I'd want to be brewing the strong stuff, just for the sake of it. So, gotta say, a really good pint all the way down. Joseph Holt makes some nice beers. Maple Moon is one of theirs. I'm trying to think what the other ones are. Yeah, Maple Moon, just here. Well, you can't see it. Yeah, they've got... I was looking at it before Christmas, and it's so much a month for each option. There's a platter. There's the top option's 85 quid. Now I'm not sure if that's a yearly fee or a monthly fee. If it's a monthly fee, ain't no way can I pay that. But if it was monthly, yearly, it's not so bad. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? I only discovered it last year. Yeah, 85 quid, and I think it's like £5 for the silver option, and the bronze option it's something like £3. So I'd have to see, because it's where, as a fan of beers, it's something I'd want to do. And especially, if you can brew the stuff and then get free review stock, it's all good. I've done elderflower champagne, and wow, at the start it tasted like sherry, very sherryish. Then at the end, after a few months of it maturing, it was very much, I'm sound. It was very much a proper champagne experience, and so cheap as well. You imagine, you pick the elderflower, go into a field, pick the elderflower, you wash it out, you get so many bundles of it, you do your six bags of sugar, and you don't really need any yeast with elderflower, because elderflower has natural yeast in it. But if you're ever gonna do elderflower, put the bloody elderflower in some tights. It gets rid of all them shitty black bugs. Yeah, Holt's. When I got it, it was 12 bottles for 19 quid plus free delivery, which was outstanding. They've done it a couple of times. They did it at Christmas as well. If I see it again, I'll do a video that day, and do a video that day, so that that people are interested. Same if I see any really good bargains, that mixed boxes. Keith Brewery, they're doing a mixed box at the moment. It's called, on their Instagram page, they've got advertised it. It's called First Aid, and they only normally do pickup from their shop. But I actually asked them, I says, look, I'm interested in your box, but obviously I don't live in Scotland, and they said they'll sort out some sort of postage. So again, there's a good chance of getting beers that you can't normally get, and maybe paying about £5 for delivery or something daft. Although if I get one, I might get free delivery. You never know. But trying not to be too overly spending money at the moment. Cheers. So totally enjoyed that. 50 minutes in. No, 59 minutes in. Bloody hell. Good thing the wife's doing cakes, otherwise I should be thinking he's pissed up down that shed. But to be fair, no beer all day, and sometimes it's actually nice to keep off the beer and have a nice clear head. And then other times you think, fuck it, let me get drunk. So last one on the list, Santa Baby from Welbeck Abbey Brewery. This one. And I reviewed this at Christmas. I've got to say, it was a really nice beer. And Welbeck Abbey Brewery, based at the top of Nottinghamshire, so just below Yorkshire. If I can read it right, it says it's 5.9%. South Pacific Opt IPA with fruity notes. Does that say? Yeah. Yeah, 5.9. So 3 6%. Well, 2 6%, 1 5.9. my sort of beers. And I haven't got a themed glass for this, so I'm using the old Adventure Beer glass. But being as Adventure Beer do actually stock Welbeck Abbeys, that's a good choice. And the funny thing is, my boss is actually, he asked me about craft beer. And I says, yes, it is Workshop, yeah. I think it is anyway. So right at the top of Nottinghamshire, just below Yorkshire. Yeah, they're yeah, the old raggies. You can't see it unless you're drinking certain types of beer. But yeah, I might have to get her to get me some ones with black writing on as well that show up on other types of beers. 8 bottles, 15 quid's good price. But yeah, the old boss man at work, he asked me about craft beers, and he was saying about Welbeck Abbey. And obviously I know Welbeck Abbey's beers. And he's going to be stocking their craft beers in both the hotels. So, like I said to him, stocking craft beers is the way forward. Good evening. We're at the hour mark and we're all sober still. Well, soberish. Depends what everyone's drinking, obviously, because it's Friday night. If you're not drinking, I do feel sorry for you. If you're doing the old triannuary, or no, sorry, dry January, fucking hell. Me, I'm on the triannuary. Or as usual, it's just a normal day. You've got to have a hobby though, haven't you? Oh yeah, oh, fair play to you. I've tried it. Good evening. Oh, that's nice. A bit more refreshing than the other two. It's a lot less hoppy than the Brewdog version. No, the Brewdog Hoppy Xmas. You know, I went to watch a show once in West Bridgford in Nottingham, a comedy show. So I'm the designated driver, and I'm sitting there, and I wanted to piss. Couldn't get up for a piss because the bloke, the comedian, anybody got up for a piss, he was ribbing them, and it was only like a small room, like 100 people in, and we were near the front. So I'm there holding myself, bursting, and like it's cracking the jokes, and I'm sitting there, and I'm not finding amusing it, any of it. My wife pissing herself, my mates absolutely pissing themselves. And when you ain't got a drink and everyone else is laughing, you're like, fucking hell, isn't this boring? And obviously the night goes on, they're all laughing over the stupidest things. And I mean, I've got a sense of humour. I look in the mirror every day and you know, you've got to have a sense of humour. But when everyone else is drunk and you're sober, it's a killer. It really is. And you think to yourself, you piss artists. But then, when you're one of the drinkers, it's like, yeah. And I'm usually one of the loudest. But never, in any time have I ever gone out drinking, have I ever been in any trouble, caused any trouble or anything, you know. And yet some people, they go out and they're causing fights straight away. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, the Chopmeister Stout is very nice. If you want to play around with that kit, you might not want to. You might want to brew it smack as it says. As you get into homebrew, you may play around with the kits. Wilco's kits are fantastic to innovate with. So what I mean is, say you get their core range, their stout kit, or even their IPA, or even any of their kits. But the £12 kits I'm on about, they're great kits to play around with, to add coffee to and all that. It's very interesting. Yeah, I don't do it. Luckily, my wife doesn't really drink that much. So she's normally now the designated driver. So if we go up to my brother's, and he lives in a place called Clarborough, which is just down from Doncaster. Even though he's got a Doncaster postcode, it's actually in Nottinghamshire, which is a bit weird. Postcode's strange. I mean, I know people that live in Nottinghamshire, they've got Leicester postcodes. But it's weird, isn't it, postcodes? And I forgot what I was going to say now. Bollocks. That's fucking drinking for you. If you're going to barrel it, definitely get the little CO2 things. Because once you crack open the barrel, you've got 2 to 3 weeks to drink it. 40 pints of anything in 2 to 3 weeks is a big ask. You know, unless you... Hey, I'm back. Fucking hell. So, when you're bottling it, definitely when you... If you're going to drink it steadily, I would bottle it. But be very careful how much sugar you pour in your bottles. Don't overdo the sugar, because you know, you'll get bottles that expand silly, you know, for the secondary fermentation. So yeah, always a thing to watch. But home brewing is great. You know, starting off, the Wilco's Artisan kits are great kits to start off at. 16 quid. So you're looking at about, I think you do have to still put sugar in, if I remember rightly. I'm not 100% sure. Or are they the 2 can? If they're the 2 can kits, you don't put sugar in. So you might not have to. But even if you do, you know, just over 40 pence a pint is bloody decent. Especially if it tastes nice, you know, at the end of it. And as long as you stick to the, you know, the letter of the law with the cleanliness and keep it in a warm room. You know, don't put it in a bloody shed at this time of the year. You know, you wouldn't want to bring it down to like the beer room here. Good evening. You do 40 pints a week easy? Shit. No, I don't know if I do 40 pints a week. Although, to be fair, when I watch Nottingham Forest play, Jesus Christ. I have the Chopmeisters on my web, is on this channel. Yeah, Love Brewing just want to sell you stuff. You can just use normal sugar. Six cans a night's not bad though, I suppose. I mean, I'd like to do another juice wine this year as well. But, you know, just something different. I'm tempted to do another cherry wine because, to be fair, one of the best brews I ever did was 4 cartons of cherry juice, 4 bags of sugar and yeast. And it turned out to be a great cherry rosé wine. And it was cheap as well, bloody cheap, like 6 quid for 30 bottles. And everybody who drank it said that was amazing. Although if I do another cherry wine, I'd like to probably get some cherry cordial, boil it, get rid of all the additives, and then add that to get a real pop of cherry. Or doing that after the initial fermentation. -10. Russian lady, eh? Bless you. Oh, so enjoying this. 1 hour 10. Jesus. Good thing it's not a review, eh? No actual reviews today as well. Yeah, reviewless in Seattle. Gives people a chance to catch up. Oh, bless you. Cider. So cider yeast then, not wine yeast. Later in the house, well, I'm going to have an hour or so definitely not drinking because I want to watch that WandaVision. I might help the wife just give the kitchen a quick clean up, because poor bogger, she's been doing all these cakes and she's knackered. Yeah, I've seen some stuff. Yesterday was awful. Pissed it down all morning, then it went to sleet, then it went to snow. I was wet through, pissed off, miserable, and freezing cold as well. Today, it's been dry. It's been cool, but dry, and much better. Pretty much all gone now, all the snow. And after tomorrow, after about midday tomorrow, it's supposed to be going up to 7 degrees, which will feel like bloody summer. You know, you're walking around in your t-shirt thinking, bloody hell, it's warm today, 7 degrees. I don't think anybody's a really good evening. Oh, just have a beer in your hand. It's lovely, isn't it? Eh? That day when we were all sat in the pubs again, going, yeah. And the old landlords and landladies will be going ka-ching, ka-ching, because people will be drinking, they'll be thirsty. There'll be a lot. I'll tell you what, when pubs do reopen, there's going to be a lot of pissed up people. Getting back out there again, seeing friends, just chatting to people. It's amazing now, having a beer, and you're chatting to people you don't know. And especially, I mean, I've been in Nottingham City Centre before, drinking with mates, gone to the bar, got 3 pints in my hand, couldn't get past because of all these idiots keep walking past, mainly students. And this Rasta bloke came from nowhere, stopped everyone like that to let me through. And we chatted to him for the rest of the night. And I'll tell you what, I had a right good crack as well. Sam bloke. And it's, when you go to pubs, sometimes you just meet people who are so, you've never met them before, but, just that crack of having a laugh. I think so. I see this year, once the majority of the population are vaccinated, I see this year as the biggest fucking party ever. And I think there will be a resurgence in pubs and across all sectors. And they're on today about the news, shit stirring about, oh, we're in the biggest recession for 300 years. Only because people can't spend their money. People can't go to the pub. People can't go to cinemas and restaurants. You wait till they can. Shit. The money that will be flowing because people, I mean, obviously a lot of people might have lost their jobs, but I don't think the majority of pubs will. I really don't. Because if you charge silly prices for beer, people are going to say, right, I'll have 1 pint here and I'll fuck off somewhere else. If you keep the prices sensible, then they'll drink one and go to another. And some of the local pubs near me, the Blue Monkey pubs and the Lincoln Green pubs, they're very much craft beer orientated. And in there, you spend all night in the pubs. Balls. Exactly. Yeah, I see a massive resurgence. When we can go abroad on holiday, I can see every single sector flying. And, I think Britain will do well out of it. I do. I think Brexit's the thing that needed to happen. It shakes Europe up a bit. It depends which Blue Monkey you go for, because they've got about 15 different beers. They've got a good range of beers. Yeah. I mean, we were hoping to go to Disneyland next year, but I don't think it'll happen. One, we ain't got the money, and two, because it's a lot of money to save up. You're looking at about $6,500 for 3 of us to go to America for 2 weeks with spending money and theme park money. Let's hope not, eh? I think until the whole population's vaccinated, that may be a thing. But if it's as easy to spread the virus, then surely when the vaccine's in people, then it's surely it's as easy to spread the antivirus, as it were, the cells that are fighting the virus. It should be as easy to spread that as it is to spread the virus. One would think. One would hope, anyway. I mean, it's frightening when you see people that are aged 30 and 40 in hospital, and yeah, I think, all of us, wherever we live in the country, have seen bad companies, bad shops, and bad businesses that have treated either the staff, the public, like shit. At the initial start, a lot of these corner shops ramped up their prices for toilet rolls, etc. And, it all comes around karma. 7.2%, bless you. Let me read the rest of that. Comments go so flipping fast. Here we go. See, if I knew that people were nearby and for a piss up, say what Wetherspoons were cunts to their staff. Disgusting. But if I knew people were nearby and near enough to me to come round for a booze up, I'd brew some special homebrew for the occasion, a barrel. And I've got plenty of area outside to have a chat with. I've got 2 big decking areas, and I've obviously got the beer room. It'd be a good laugh. Get pissed up. And I've also got the hot tub room as well. Although I've got to get a new hot tub, but that's another story. Yeah, or a liner at some stage. The hot tub still works, but it just pumps up to something silly. It looks like a balloon that's going to pop at any minute. And I do worry about that, to be honest. Yeah, speedos. Yeah. Just like the weirdo neighbour isn't looking out the window at me. Oh, bless you. Another Nottinghamshire person. Yeah, good on you. It'd be nice to chat to people, wouldn't it? It's ever so strange being at a workplace where you see no one all day long. It's ever so weird. Yeah, fucking hell. We don't want a brown hot tub. Jesus Christ. Oof. Yeah, it's when you fart and all of a sudden you look and think, oh shit. Yeah, literally. Oh, that's gone down nicely, that has. So, I paid £3.65 for that. I think I got it from a garden centre. It'd be nice to think that people are, some normality. I've been a lifelong Forest fan, I have. It's a funny thing with Nottingham people. You're either a lifelong Forest or a County fan, or you're a fucking Man U fan. But, I mean, if you don't live in that area and you're a Man U fan, you're only a Man U fan because they were the best team at the time, which doesn't make you a true fan, not in my opinion, not in my eyes anyway. I mean, you're usually a fan of the clubs where you live. Unless all the clubs where you live are totally shit, then you probably could understand that. But for a lot, I mean, at one stage, both Nottingham Forest and Notts County were in the equivalent of the Premiership. Well, Liverpool fans, yeah, they had a good year last year, fair play. Yeah, okay, books, yeah, sad. A lilac wine. I've still got all my rhubarb wine to drink over there. I've not touched it for a long while. Been drinking beer that long, I've not even gone on the wine much. And I've not even been eating my spirits all this Christmas. I've still got quite a selection of spirits. And I'll have to dab in soon. Clear the stockpile down a bit, as you do. And, I think that's why I'm not bothered about a buy note at the moment. It's like, nah, I can't be bothered. I looked on Waitrose today, and I've got a basket with so many items in it. And the two Fullers, the Vintage and the Imperial, they've gone. So I've got no chance of getting them now. Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping by October. It'd be an interesting, I think it's a more interesting Premiership this year. Liverpool have missed massively Van Dijk or Van Dijk, then depending on how you pronounce his name. He was there. He was there. The reason they did so well last year. He was the best defender in the world last year, and they've missed him. And Man U are doing so well because of that in from Portugal. Is it Portugal? Bruno, or whatever his bloody name is. I need something. Yeah, the other day it was rough at work. Thursday. Oh, Jesus. I need to get some wellies this weekend. And yeah, I've learned that my flipping work boots that I bought from Lidl are shit when it's wet. They're either not waterproof or there's a split. And yeah, Thursday was a rum day. Bruno Fernandes, yeah. Since he's come to the club, they have gelled. And even Pogba is starting to play again now. He's a funny player because they had him, they sold him, bought him back for 100 million, and then he's been shit. And yet for France, he was pretty good at the World Cup? Yeah, he was good for them. And it's a shame, really. Is it? I mean, Nottingham Forest are the same. We haven't been able to score for love and the money. Rashford has, yeah. And, you know, there's a lot of very poor people out there that really are struggling. And, you know, for people with public presence, or shall we say power, because them who are in the media have got a lot more power than they ever realise. And Rashford has done an amazing thing to support the poor like he has. And if he donates some of his money as well, that's an even better gesture. You know, donate some of them hundreds of thousands a week he earns. You know, no one needs that much money per week. And if all footballers did that, yeah, I did see it. Fucking disgusting. That's companies taking the piss. Let's be fair, if you're a company, you're selling £30 worth of produce, make sure there's 30 quid's worth in the box, because you're making money on that by selling 30 quid's worth. So, you know, disgusting. All these little kiddies that are starving, you know, they go to school and that's probably their only meal of the day. Because, you know, they've probably got bad parents who piss it up the wall. If there's one thing about me, I never take any money out of the pot. All my wages go to the house. Never do I spend a single penny of my wages. Any money I get from extra work, like a gardening job or maybe some internet money, then I'll spend it and I'll buy some beers. But never do I take out the pot, you know. So the kids, and luckily my kids are very well catered for. They've never really struggled. We're not a very rich family, but we've always done what we can. Oh yeah, I think all UK beaches, once we're out of any shitty lockdowns, all UK resorts will be packed, because there'll be a hell of a lot of people who think, fuck it, we're not going abroad. Not this year. Because even if we get fully vaccinated, then we need the other main countries of the world that we go to on holiday to, we need them to be as vaccinated as we are. And I do a little bit, yeah, now and again. Before Christmas, I had a money earner, and it made Christmas. It put Christmas on a good balance. And I had it at the start of December. And I think it was for a couple of links on my website. And that it set Christmas up nicely. You know, we didn't have to worry about presents. But let's be fair, everyone's walking nowadays, aren't they? They're going to parks. I've never seen some of the local parks near me. They're so busy because everyone's using that to get out of the house. I mean, I work out on my own all day in a bloody garden or a park, if you call it that. So to me, when I get home at weekends, I don't want to go outside. I've had enough of the outside world. I want to sit inside and get in the warm. Oh. Oh, I missed that about the Russian lady. What was that? Bless you. That's what you want. You know, finding love. It's a thing, isn't it? You know, in my eyes, there's somebody out there for all of us. You know, with the right personality. It's not always about looks, although looks do matter, obviously, because, you know, it does matter in the long run. But personality, you know, sense of humour. We all want to meet Mrs. Right. I mean, I was lucky. Before I was with my wife, I was 2-timed and triple-timed by the person before her. And, you know, and then I met her at the age of 20. Yeah, it would have been about 20. She was 17. And, you know, ever since then, we've been good. And this is our 30th year together. Yeah. Wow. But, you know, some people are lucky in life, some people aren't. Some people never meet their, you know, the partner they intend. Because obviously, not everybody's straight. You know, there's gay people in the world, obviously. And, you know, meeting the right person, it means so much. To be happy in life, wow. You know, it takes a lot of stress off you. Yeah, 22 years of marriage. Is it? Or 23 this year? 23 this year, sorry. Yeah, in July, 23. 23 years married in July. 30 years together in July. And I can remember the first date we went on. That's my wife messaging my daughter. Yeah, I can remember the first date we went on to watch Robbie Coltrane, The Pope Must Die. Oh, the Beer Channel. One day I was watching Central News, and they're on about this bloke who reviews beer. And I'm watching him thinking, I can talk shit about beer all day long. And, you know, working for 5 years in retail on that department, day in, day out, you know, you pick up a bit. And and that was the real ale craft beer bloke. Simon is his name. And I seen him and I thought, I can do that. So I did. Started reviewing beers. Plus, it was a great excuse to have a beer and not get moaned at. I'm not daft. You know, there's methods in my madness. So. I think we all need to cut down, don't we? You know, realistically. Yeah, we can definitely. Looks down to the individual and to, you know, choices you make in life. You know, I went from a job where it was a good job. I had a great workmate. Yeah, I had a great workmate, but I could see changes happening in the job. So I went to the last job I was in, thinking it was a great job, got conned into this job, and went with the worst person I've ever seen in my life. You know, And it was a terrible job. Now I'm out of it, but that year learnt me a valuable lesson that sometimes it's not always greener on the other side. Sometimes it's better to wait and see how the situation unfolds. And I mean, now I've made a fantastic decision. And once we start having weddings again, and you start seeing people, chatting to people, it'll be a lot more interesting. At the moment, I'm chatting to robins and partridges. They don't fucking talk back. They just look at me and think, what's he fucking doing? I mean, I went like that the other day to a partridge going, hello, you alright? I got the partridge like that. Just fucking staring at me thinking, he's probably thinking in his own words, wanker. And even the other day at the Newark site, you got like 500 sheep in the field across the waterway. And I went over to the sheep from my side of the waterway. There's a bit of a moat thing, and there's grass, a little bit of trees, but you can see all these sheep. And I started going, bah, 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 to these sheep, and they're all looking over at me. But the funny thing is, they all looked exactly the same. And it's freaky looking. You think, fuck me, there's 20 sheep in that little sector, all staring at me with all the same face, same size bodies. And I'm like, fucking hell. And I walks away. And they looked and like, what's he doing? And then they just carried on eating the grass. Yeah, so it'd be nice to talk to a bit of interaction with people. Plus, obviously, at weddings, you'll see stuff happening that, should be interesting. It'll remind me of the Arboretum days where you see people shagging behind a tree. Or maybe not. But I'm bound to see some interesting sights. So, thoroughly enjoyed that. 1.5 hours. Wow. See if I get an arse old enough to wife when I go in. Or unless she's busy with the old cakes. She might be done by now though. But I'll just blame you lot and say they were chatting that much you couldn't get away. It's a cracking excuse. But yeah, another good beer. Great to get rid of a few of these Christmas beers. Like everybody, I overindulge at Christmas. Way too many beers. And since Christmas, I can feel the weight starting to drop off again now. Now I'm moving around. I'm not drinking so much. And getting back to work again. And I can feel myself getting back into some... My T-shirts aren't so tight anymore, which is probably a good thing, you know. And get back to more normal drinking levels, you know, 1 or 2 a day. And the reviews have calmed down a bit as well. Like today, no actual review today. I did the review yesterday that showed up this morning. But yeah, sometimes it's good to let it calm down a bit. Well, Jesus Christ. I don't know if you can hear that dinging. So, I think I need to knock on the head now. Bloody hell. It's been a long... I've kept you going for all this time. Thank you everyone for contributing. It's been a great one. You know, it's nice to chat to people, albeit virtually. And we'll have to see if YouTube do some sort of app where it's easy to use, where you're all in some like virtual room. But then again, you'd need a telly to watch it on, because I couldn't watch it on a little screen. I won't be able to see what anyone's saying. I will get my computer sorted out at some stage and be able to watch the comments a lot better. In fact, I have the comments up there so I can respond to the comments 10 times faster than I can on this little phone. But yeah, been a good one. Thanks for all for participating. And now I'm going to do the walk of shame to the house and try not to fall on the icy fucking decking. Thank you all for watching, and see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock-ish. 3 Marston's beers, Marston's Pedigree, EPA, and Rain Whites, which is, again, another Marston's brand. And see you soon. Cheers. Right, turn it off, and there you go.